At Front Office Sports, continuing coverage of Super Bowl 59, talking to some of your favorite players and team executives, giving you insights into what's happening with your favorite teams, continues. Baker Machado, and I'm very excited to be joined by the president of the Denver Broncos, Damani Leech. Damani, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so before we talk about the Broncos season, what's coming up, and all the things you're working on, this is a really cool initiative that the Walton family and the Broncos have worked on. You guys are giving out 15,000 helmets to high schools all across Colorado.
Right.
Talk about this initiative.
Yeah, so this is all in, all covered. Started with our great Walton Penner family ownership group, who challenged us to have a significant impact on youth in Colorado in the sport of football. The helmet is one of the highest barriers to entry, both financially, but also from a safety and comfort standpoint. And so, 15,000 helmets will be distributed, 277 high school football programs in the state of Colorado. So over the next 4 years, everyone will get a free top-of-the-line Riddell Axiom helmet that is custom fitted for each player. So it's a great initiative. We're really excited about it.
Absolutely. And we know a lot of the high schools in Colorado are going to absolutely love this. Obviously, with the Broncos, as you see on your shirt, a historic franchise from 1977, lots of history there. But when you're doing a brand refresh, integrating the history and the nostalgia, but also sort of giving some new life to the organization, talk about how you sort of do that. The Broncos did a really good job this year with the uniforms and everything else.
Yeah, it was a fun challenge.
Yeah.
When I first started, I did a press conference in late August of 2022. The first two questions I got about were about our future, our stadium situation, and our uniforms. And we immediately dove into that project. It was fun to do. We surveyed fans. We think hearing from the fans is really important. What do you like? What do you not like? And then we took that information and then really worked with Nike, who are great design partners. They really challenged us to think about what's important to you guys, what makes you special, what makes you unique. It's things like 5280, our mile high, and then really sort of, pun intended, thread that into the uniform design. And it was great to see on field, obviously the throwback uniforms, a ton of excitement and enthusiasm around.
Are we going to see those throwbacks again this next season?
Okay. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll wear those probably twice per season.
Okay. Well, on that topic, I mean, look, the NBA has updated logos to go back to the old ones. I mean, the Kings, the Sixers, so many others. Universally, I think the D with the Bronco is beloved.
Yeah.
Is there any thought to the Broncos maybe going back to that being their official logo?
Yeah, we thought about that at the initial design process for this most recent redesign. Didn't want to abandon the current logo, the horse head logo. I think we won 2 Super Bowls with that. I think there's a lot of fans that feel passionately about that. Having the flexibility with the NFL uniform policies to have both, really for us is the best of both worlds. And so not to say what we might do in the future, but I think what we have now for the next minimum 5 years is pretty good.
You mentioned the stadium chatter, new stadium for Denver. Obviously, that's a big topic of conversation back there. I know Greg Penner, the CEO, has said, listen, we're listening to everybody. We're taking everybody seriously about this, and we're going to do the right decision.
Yeah.
Where are we at in that process? Is the idea that maybe we're going to redesign, Mile High, or are we going to do something new?
Yeah, all things are on the table. And we mean that sincerely. So actively studying what does a significant renovation look like, actively studying what does new look like, both in terms of design, sort of the what, but also the where. Is it on the same site? Is it somewhere else in central Denver? Is it somewhere in the suburbs? All of those things are on the table. We're actively studying.
Is there a deadline for when you guys are going to make a decision on any of this?
No, our lease ends after the 2030 season.
So you got time.
So no, we don't actually. So it takes 4 years to build. You start to back that up.
That's true.
And we feel like pretty soon we need to figure out what we're doing. That being said, we can extend the lease if we need to, but we really are very laser focused on this and trying to do what's best, not just for the Broncos now, but for the next 30 years.
The Broncos, I covered Super Bowl 50. It was one of the happiest moments of my life as a Broncos fan. Broncos hadn't made the playoffs since that moment. And obviously Bo Nix and even Sean Payton re-energizing this franchise. A lot of people were giving Sean Payton a lot of criticism for drafting Bo Nix early, where he did. How much has he sort of advanced the brand refresh, but where the Broncos are at now in terms of where you wanted this team to be?
Yeah, I mean, what we say is good football is good for business. And we have done a lot over the last 3 years to put us in a position to capitalize on our on-field success. And then this year was a great example of that, of being to the playoffs for the first time, but also then that driving attendance, having over 70,000 fans in the stadium, being number 5 in the league in our Voice of Fans surveys, which means our fans come to the games and they have a great time. I think that combined with our on-field performance is a great recipe. I think Sean's a great coach. I think having someone in the building who's been there and done that, I think it's infectious. When you hear him talk about what we need to do to get there, we talk about, as you know, a lot of mountain metaphors. We say the climb continues. We're still climbing. It continues, and we're going to keep working at it.
Obviously, you are one of 4 Black high executives in NFL front offices. There are multiple minority owners that are Black, including Melody Hobson, Condoleezza Rice, and others, but not a majority owner just yet.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's going to happen soon?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So, and I think the league ownership, I think the commissioner is committed to it. I think you heard him talk about it earlier this week, and don't disagree with him. I think just diversity, period, is a weapon. It's an asset, and that's everything from players to coaches, executives to owners. I think he wants. You think about a league meeting. You've got 32 owners in a room. He wants the brightest minds in the world in that room to advance this league, regardless of where somebody is from, regardless of their gender. He wants the best and brightest minds involved in this league.
The other thing that the commissioner mentioned at his press conference is an interest still, albeit, going to work with the Players Association on an 18th game.
Yeah.
The Players Association coming out saying, look, that seems really untenable. From a front office perspective, where do you sort of see this going? Do you think some players have said it might be inevitable that we might get an 18th game? Where do you sort of sit on this?
I think with my role and a lot of, team presidents, what we do is, obviously those decisions are made at a league and Players Association level. It's our responsibility to plan, be prepared for what might happen, whether that's expansion of the regular season, whether that's more international games. All of those things we think about as we sort of do 5-year look aheads to make sure we're best positioned to be successful.
I'll get you out of here on this, Damani. We talked to Chiefs CEO Clark Hunt the other day about Chiefs fatigue.
Yeah.
They're winning so much, the three-peat, all of this stuff. The fact that you guys play them multiple times a year, you're very much accustomed to Patrick Mahomes and all this.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that maybe are tired of dynasties and people like the Chiefs always winning?
Do something about it.
Yeah, that's what Klay Thompson says. Beat us.
Yeah, that's our focus is to do something about it. Yep. So, you can't hate on them. Great organization. Mark Donovan is a great president and colleague of mine. They're doing great things on and off the field. And if you're fatigued, do something about it.
And by the way, the Broncos, except for a field goal kick, almost beat the Chiefs twice this year.
True.
So there is a recipe out there for
Absolutely.
that. Damani, such a pleasure to have you here. As a Broncos fan, I'm thrilled about you and the Walton Penner family owning this team. And continued success down the road.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we got more incredible interviews coming your way with Front Office Sports from Radio Row.